Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the first, not the first, the last monocolored review for the old school cube. So we are up on green, and then there will be some interesting cards here. So the first of which is Arborea, which is a 4 mana enchantment. It's an enchant world effect, so it's part of those cycle that destroy each other when they enter. If player does not cast a spell or put a card into play his or her turn, no creatures may attack that player until after his or her next turn. So yeah, so as long as you have no activity essentially, then your opponent can't attack you. It's a super good defensive tool in a more controlling deck, so you both just keep drawing cards and eventually, hopefully, you draw enough powerful cards. Yeah, that you can win a game with a combo turn or whatever. So this is very good at defending combos, Arborea. Super strong card. There's decks around built around this in old school. Very, very good card. Argotian Pixies, so that's a 2 mana, 1 green, 2/1 Pixie. It's a fairy, actually, and it cannot be blocked by artifact creatures, and the damage Argot and Pixie take from artifact creatures reduced to 0. So it's kind of protection from artifact light. Yeah, so it's very good against artifact heavy decks, and 2 mana 2/1, which is good at rate, especially in this time. So yeah, good card. Argotian Tree Folk, it's a 5 mana 3/5. That's a massive body in this format. So far at least, so what you have seen, and any damage which this takes on artifact sources is reduced to 0. So another protection from artifact green card. Yeah, green is strong in that realm, so I think that's kind of a good balancing effect on the cube. Yeah, so this is an awesome card, I think, on rate already. Aspect of the wolf. So it's a 2 mana aura, and then target creature's power and toughness are increased by half the number of forests you have in play, rounding down for power and up for toughness. So make it more difficult. So if you have 5 forests in play, so it's a +2/+3. There you go. Yeah, so it's good in monocolored decks. Yeah, I mean, it goes with the game, so we'll see. Berserk. So yeah, so this is an all star in Legacy and multiple formats. So it's a 1 mana instant. Until end of turn, target creature's power doubles, and it gains trample as well. And yeah, and at the end of the turn, yeah, you have to sacrifice the creature. So this is really letting you through with that one shot. Again, super powerful card, especially in constructed. Like you have like a 5 power creature, you double berserk it, that's lethal. So yeah, that is an awesome combat trick for limited, and that's frequently gonna be the last few points of damage. Birds of Paradise. So yeah, we all know Birds of Paradise. It's a 1 mana 0/1 flyer, taps for any mana. Super important in this cube if you wanna splash for 3 colors, stuff like that. Best fixings, absolutely first pickable. Channel, yeah. So this is channel. This is yeah. This is a card which is can bend almost everywhere. Yeah, yeah. I mean, vintage you can play it, but there's a reason why. So it's a green sorcery, and on the end of turn, you may add colorless mana of your mana pool at a cost of 1 life each, and then these additions are played with the speed of an interrupt. Yeah, so it's basically a mana source, and effect that prevent damage may not be used to counter this life. Essentially, you can sacrifice life for mana, and what you do is, that's the famous name Channel Fireball comes from channel comboing with Firewall. That you sacrifice 19 life and then fireball them for like 19 or whatever. Yeah, so that is indeed a very, very powerful card. So this is one way to get out like a turn one Emrakul, even if that's legal. You can do a lot of crazy things with this. You can channel out like a 7 drop or a Colossus of Sardia. So yeah, like don't underestimate this card. Coquetries. So it's a 2/4 flyer for 5, and it essentially has Death Touch. So that's what it is. And yeah, the Death Touch which doesn't hit walls. So it's like non-war Death Touch. Yeah, but very good card. Crow Giant, so it's a 7 mana, 3 green, 6/4 with Trample and Rampage too. So Rampage is kind of bushy though. If this is blocked, it gets +2/+2 for actually each blocking creature. So the more they gang block it, the worse it is for them somehow. or they need to block it with bigger and bigger creature. So this is super hard to block. Like this is almost like plays as a 6/4 like unblockable. Because if they go block with two creature, then becomes like a 10/8. Yeah, it's unbelievable card. Crowworm, so that's like 6 mana, a little bit lighter on the mana, into 6/4, vanilla. So if you want a big creature, this is a big creature. Crumble, destroy target artifact. Artifact creatures cannot be regenerated, and the artifact's controller gains life equal to its casting cost. So yeah, it's a 1 mana destroy artifact, which is in this format. It's important. Desert Twister, it's a 6 mana sorcery, and destroy target permanent, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, in old school you have time to cast this thing, and again it destroys any permanent. So super cool card. Drop of Honey. So this is a 1 green mana. Essentially, this is Porphyry Nodes. So if you know that card from the Time Spiral block, so during your upkeep, the creature in play with the lowest power is destroyed and cannot be regenerated. If there's a tie, you choose, and then whenever there's no more creatures, this is being sacrificed. So yeah, it's like it eats up smaller creatures. If you had a controlling deck, and then again, right, like there's that green blue, like combo-ish control deck, like this is a key piece of that, because it starts destroying smaller creatures, save you a lot of life. So there you go. Darkwood Boars, so it's a 5 mana 4/4 vanilla, but hey, like this is very likable if you need a big beater. This is kind of big beater. Elves of the Deep Shadow, so it's a green for a 1/1, and you can tap and add black to your mana pool, and it deals 1 damage to you. So yeah, that is awesome stuff. Elvish Archer, so it's a 2 mana 1/2 first striker. Yeah, very very good card. I mean, solid little aggressive card. Yeah, you're gonna play it. Like if whichever was a 2/1, but hey, it can't always be a winner. And Earn Engine, so it's a 4 mana 4/5. That's already above rate. Very, very powerful card in old school. And during your upkeep, you must choose one of your opponent's non-war creatures. And until your next upkeep, that creature gains Forest Walk. And yeah, so I mean, what's happening here that you're gonna choose probably the worst creature that's gonna become unblockable, so you take some damage, but you have a 4/5 for 4 mana, so that's gonna beat them up like a lot faster. So Eureka, we're gonna need the Oracle text on this one, but this is essentially your show and tell in old school. So let's go to the page. And yeah, starting with you, each player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. Repeat this process until no one puts a card onto the battlefield. So this works very interesting. This card is insane. So what's happening is that you put a permanent into the battlefield, your opponent puts a permanent, but it does not stop where somebody stops it, but both players have to stop it. So if the situation is that you Eureka and your opponent has like 5 instant sorceries in hand, and you have 5 permanents, you can put all 5 permanents in the battlefield while they can play nothing. This card is absolutely insane. Like this is an archetype in and itself. You can draft like massive big creatures, and that's one way to cheat them into the battlefield. So yeah, like Demonic Tutor, Eureka, like getting those big creatures out and beat your opponent with them. So this is quite the combo deck. Yeah. Um. So fast bond, you may play as many lands in your hand as you want each turn, and then it deals damage every deals 1 damage for every land beyond the first one that you play a single turn. So this is a good accelerator, and it's also like insane with land tax. So that's really the joke here. That like every turn you like get like 3 lands for like 2 or 3 turns in a row, and then you just play every single land to the battlefield and then cast whatever you want. Or you can accelerate yourself out if you have like a hand with like fast bond, 4 lands or 5 lands and an Earn Engine, then you can get a turn 1 Earn Engine, which is pretty insane. Fire Sprites, so yeah, so this is a 2 mana flying 1/1, which we have seen a lot. But this one converts a red mana, sorry, green mana with tapping to a red mana. So this is fixing. And fixing is few and far between, but fixing is very powerful still because you're gonna see some of the multicolored cards. So yeah, you wanna pay attention to cards like this. Force of Nature. So it's a 6 mana 8/8, ladies and gentlemen, with trample. So, but it's two green, 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 green to cast. And in your upkeep, you have to sacrifice, you have to pay green, 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 or this deals 8 damage to you. And then, even if it does though, you can still attack with an 8/8 trampler. So it's truly a force of nature. Giant growth. So it's a 1 green mana instant target creature gains +3/+3 until end of turn. Giant Spider, it's a 4 mana, 2/4 with reach. Excellent card. Grizzly Bears, 2 mana, 2/2. Good aggressive card. Hurricane, it's X and a green. All players and flying creatures suffer X damage. So this is kind of, another one of these in the line of like the earthquakes, firewalls. So it's like X and a color damage spell. Yeah, these are good cards. Like these finish games. Ice Storm, so this is Stone Rain in green, destroy animal lands. If be Fafrit, however, so this is a good one too. So this is a 2 and green green CC flyer. So flying in green, today it's not that common. This is one of those exceptions. And while if beef Efrit is in play, any player can pay a green to have it deal 1 damage to each player and each flying creature in play. And this does not tap the Efrit and can be used as soon as it's successfully summoned. So the same turn you can't really do it, but after subsequent turns you can, and you absolutely should. So either this is a 3/3 flyer which can chunk him for 5 because you hit them for 3 and then you spend 2 green every turn and then that's like 2 extra damage to the player, or you can just kill all the flyers if that's what you wish, and that's including the Efrit too. So yeah, very very good card. Killer Bees. So this is, yeah, 1 green green 0/1 flyer, but for a green it gets +1/+1 at the end of turn. So it has the shade ability in it, and then what makes this card really powerful is really the fact that it's a flyer. So it's hard to block, and then it grows. You can sink a lot of mana into it, and eventually kill your opponent. Land Leeches. So this is a 3 mana 2/2 first striker, which I think in limited format, yeah, about like in the 2000s, it's still very very good. Like a 3 mana 2/2 first striker, you would pay in a limited format for almost like until 2015, I think. So yeah, this card is quite excellent. Ley Druid, it's a 1/1, 3 mana 1/1, and then you can tap it and on the land you control. Yeah, so that's one way also to double fix your colors, maybe, or just add an extra mana really. So it can serve as an elf, but you choose the color what's being added as long as you have that on a land. Lenovo Elves, so that's a classic, that's a 1 mana 1/1, and it does tap for a mana, but it's only green. So there you go, classic. Turn 2 you can get your 3-drop. In play, accelerate you 1 turn ahead. Yeah, there's a lot to like here. Then we have Master of the Hunt. So yeah, so this is a 4 mana 2/2, and for 2 green green, you can put a Wolf of the Hunt token into play. It's a 1/1. Yeah, so, and oh yeah, and it does have bending with other Wolf of the Hunt, which is pretty good, honestly. They can gang up as a pack and then take down bigger creatures if you have many of them, and you only lose one. Yeah, solid card. Then we have Rajan Spirit. So this is a 4 mana 3/2, but it has a very very good limited ability, I think. So for tap, target creature loses flying ability until end of turn. I think this is actually a very very good combo with if beef Efreet, because you can just take off the flying from the Efreet and kill their flyers with this. So yeah, food for thought. Regenerate or regeneration. Um, yeah, so it's a 2 and a green aura, and then guess what? For green, target creature regenerates. So what as you expected. Regrowth. So this one is yeah, is restricted in a lot of formats, and the reason why, because like this could create a lot of loops, because actually this one is for 1 green sorcery, return any card from your graveyard to your hand, and notably this one is not exiling itself when you do that. So yeah, so you can just get back any card whatsoever. And then because it's not exiling, you can create loops with like draw sevens. So this goes back to a library, you draw it again, and then you keep going that way. So yeah, it's an interesting card. It's a good card, especially in this format where you have effects which are super powerful. Getting them back and replaying them are, yeah, really important and good thing to do. Scavenging fork. So it's a 1 mana 1/1. It's a human fork or scavenger or whatever. But more importantly, for green and a tap, you can sacrifice and destroy target artifact. Yeah, I can't stress enough that artifacts are important in this format. Being able to destroy them in green, that's very powerful. Skip Sprite. So it's a 1 mana 1/1 flyer. So it's a flying man equivalent of green, and it's a fairy if the type matters. Um, yeah, I mean, it's early point in the curve. You can start beating up your opponent and go from there with the green, red, whatever, green, white, aggressive deck. Seven library. So this is Seven library. So one and a green. It's an enchantment. And then in your upkeep, you draw two extra cards. So during the draw phase, you draw two extra cards. Uh, but then you have to put two of them back. So essentially you can filter through, or you can pay 4 life and keep some of those cards. So every card you pay 4 life. So what you can do, take 3 cards, decide to put two back. That's your normal draw step then, or take 3 cards, decide to keep two of them, and then put one back. So you pay 4 life, or if you keep all three, you pay 8 life. And sometimes you do that. Timberwolves. So this is a 1 mana 1/1 with bending. Yeah, I mean that is powerful. That's kind of what you want. Like your bending, like if you bend with a big creature, then they can't really block the bending. You have to take a lot of damage. Or if they have like good like okay block or good block, then the bending creature takes the brunt of it, and your big creature survives while taking down their big creature. So yeah, not to like here. Tracker, 3 mana 2/2, Grey Ogre, but for green and tap, it does fight a creature. So that's pretty good. Especially if you have like a giant growth or anything that gives this creature buffs, like this can start picking off creatures on the battlefield. And it can always pick off small creatures. So there you go, Tracker for you. Then we have Tranquility. So this is 2 and a green, and all enchantment in play must be destroyed, or destroyed is destroyed, whatever the old way of saying it, must be discarded used to be. Yeah, this is useful. We see a lot of good enchantments so far. This helps you with that. Untamed Wilds. So it's 2 and a green, search a library for one basic land and put it to play. And this does not count towards your land drop. Reshuffle your library afterwards. The joke here is that this is mana fixing, really. So yeah, um, yeah. So this is rampant growth for one more mana. Wall of Brambles. Yeah, this card is kind of insane. Like this is 3 mana, 2 and a green for 2/3, which is already kind of stat. And then for green it regenerates. Like this is super annoying problem to play against. So yeah, War Mammoth, 4 mana 3/3 with Trample. We have seen it with the War Elephant, same thing. This is the green version of it. Yeah, it's a brawler body, and if you can augment it, then that becomes good. Whirling Dervish. So this is a green for a 1/1, but the good stuff comes here. So it has protection from black, which is very powerful, and it gets a +1/+1 counter at the end of each turn, which it does damage to an opponent. So if your opponent is mono black, they're just dead, I think. So they can't attack into this, they can't really block it, and it keeps growing. Eventually, you take over, and they can really do nothing about that. Obviously, your opponent very rarely is mono black, but keep that in mind. Even then, it's good to be good against half of someone's deck, right? So there you go. Wild Growth. So this is a green. When tapped, target land provides 1 green mana in addition to mana it normally provides. Yeah, I mean, it's Wild Growth. Utopia Sprawl from ancient times. And then last but not least, a very underrated card in old school Magic, and I see this card popping up lately in old school constructed formats because it's very good. Like it's a one and a green wolf. It's a 1/1. That's not the part which is very good. But you can tap it and target creature gets +1/+1 at the end of turn. I think that that is a real deal. Like this massing up combat math so significantly. It's an onboard trick, so they can calculate. But in other cases, your opponents just don't really have blocks they like to take. So yeah, Value Wolf I think is solid in aggressive decks. And that was green for us. So thanks for watching. And we're gonna come back with some colorless or multicolor action. So see you there.